Hello, Mr. President. How are you today? Did you sleep well? Well, I called you to see how you were doing. Not no. Well, yes, I went ahead and made blueberry pancakes and maple syrup. And no, I thought you meant what I ate this morning. Oh, the IG report. Yes, yes. Well, we have a whole lot of wonderful things going on with that. Yes. Uh, Peter Strock. Well, we have some videos. And I don't mean the Anthony Weiner kind. I mean the really good kind. I'm talking Showtime After Dark, 1997. Yes. Well, Lisa Page, Peter Strzok, it was an orgy of law enforcement debauchery. Yes. Well, let me tell you something. It was not only Lisa Page and Peter Strzok. Oh, they make Sodom and Gomorrah look like Toys R Us. Yes. It was, it was 5 other FBI agents, including Peter Strzok and Lisa Page. It was like a diabolical circle, you know what. Well, yes, Hillary wasn't investigated. We're doing that on the down low. Too slow. Yes. Okay. Well, I don't think we won't do anything yet. We're going to wait for Republicans to get those testosterone shots that Lindsey Graham had. Eventually, we're going to end this. Oh, is that right? You're thinking of ending the Mueller probe. You should have done it last year, if you ask me. Giuliani wants to end it? Good. Well, that's fantastic, yes. Well, I'll give you the whole IG report, and you can go ahead and find those 13 angry Democrats. The ones that were crying, boo-hoo-hoo-hoo, boo-hoo-hoo-hoo, Hillary lost. Did you see that in the Jacob Javits Center? It was so funny. Oh, my goodness, I was so laughing. Oh, yeah. Oh, they were all just crying like babies. We're going to make them cry again. All right. Yes, John Brennan and Poo-Poo. Yes, Poo-Poo out. Okay, I'll call you later. Bye. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. What do we have here? Couple minutes in, 305 people watching. Thank you so much. And we have a lot of great things to talk about. So many fantastic things that vindicate you and vindicate me. First of all, thank you to everybody. Thank you to people in the super chat. Everybody in the super chat, you allow these live streams to take place. Otherwise, I would just upload and be like, Clinton, Mueller, and I'd upload. But this is fantastic because I get to hang out with you and do my Jeff Sessions and my John O'Brien. Sally, I want you to know that I've left you, Sally. I know you're with Clapper. I no longer have feelings for you. Uma and I are going out. Don't tell the winner. So let's go ahead. IG confirms he is reviewing whether Strzok's anti-Trump bias impacted launch of Russia probe. Boom! Booyah! We're going to get to a lot today. A lot. We're going to get to Trey Gowdy, who the testosterone is back for Trey Gowdy. He just ripped Horowitz a new one. Jim Jordan was always, on point. He just leveled all of them, Ray and Horowitz. You have people now questioning why we even have a Mueller probe. The thing was completely fabricated, a complete theater from the start. And one way for the president to end the Mueller probe is conflicts of interest. We already had enough conflicts of interest. The IG report just blows it wide open. So all he has to do is now use this as a springboard to start asking questions. When Strock testifies before Congress, you could say goodbye to the Mueller probe. Because even if he tries to say, I worried about Trump. Don't you see? I was trying to do this. I was trying to do this for there's some interesting I have the best chat. I have the best live chat. Can I tell you, it is, and when it's late at night and you're alone, or you're feeling a little, oh, I don't know, the name is Randy, you can go to HA After Dark for all you insomniacs out there. But I have the best live stream, best super chat. Thank you to the super chat people. All right, let's start. IG confirms he's reviewing whether Strock's anti-Trump bias impacted launch of investigation. So yes, obviously that did happen. Obviously, the entire investigation was what they wanted to do was counterbalance. They wanted to utilize the Russia probe as a way of making everything morally relative. They knew there was nothing there. They knew there was everything with Clinton. And what Comey did on July 5th, 2016, when he said, well, here's all the evidence. We're not going to indict, though. Here's all the evidence and the crimes and the statutes she broke. We're not going to indict, though, because she didn't mean to do it. This is the same thing. Here's all the anti-Trump bias. We hate Trump. He needs to lose. Trump voters are losers. I can save this country, honey, pumpkin. My love, I can save this country. Don't worry, we'll stop him. And yet, so all that evidence in the IG report, and very important, Michael Horowitz does not say there was no bias that impacted the Clinton investigation. What he says is this, and whenever anyone tells you this, you have to correct them, or if you want to. If they're a Hillary bot, there's no way to correct them because they're completely beholden to whatever MSNBC says. But the IG said that he didn't find the prosecutors to be biased. Okay, Strock, McCabe, Comey, all of them, Lynch, Lisa Page, all of them were not prosecutors. The FBI, the DOJ prosecutor, no, so the FBI and DOJ prosecutors, well, it didn't even get to the DOJ. The FBI prosecutors were extremely biased because they were influenced by people who were giving them only the information that would lead to Clinton not getting indicted. The biggest issue is that in 600 pages, and Andrew McCarthy, who's like a brilliant writer for the National Review, but Andrew McCarthy, he was on Fox, and he has decades of experience in the intelligence community and the judicial system, and he was saying something very interesting, and something that I was saying too. The IG report in 600 pages doesn't mention, and I kept saying this, and he alluded to this on Fox just today. The IG report does not mention the fact that Hillary Clinton set up the server and transferred top secret and special access program intelligence from SIPRNet, JWICs, and SCIFs. So that's the thing. It's just unbelievable because the intent is Brian Pagliano being paid. The intent is Hillary Clinton actually utilizing the server. Wow. Peter Strzok escorted from building amid internal review. Wow. I will put that link below. Thank you to my chat, because I just saw this on my chat right now. I forgot to even. Wow. I'm just going to spend 3 hours of saying wow. This is unbelievable. So it's happening, ladies and gentlemen, and we're experiencing this real time together. it's just unbelievable too, because so when Strock's going to voluntarily. So let me read this. FBI agent Peter Strzok escorted from building amid internal review. FBI counterintelligence agent Peter Strzok was escorted from the building amid an internal review of his conduct, his lawyer confirmed Tuesday. Strock, who had a central role in the FBI investigation into Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server while serving as Secretary of State, was reportedly escorted from the FBI building on Friday amid an internal review of his conduct. Pete has steadfastly played by the rules. This is fantastic. This is an attorney. Steadfastly played by the rules by telling his lover, mistress, that he hated Trump and wanted to put Trump on a meteor outside the known galaxy so that he never, ever, ever, ever came back again to planet Earth. Put Trump on a meteor. That's not bias. Pete has steadfastly played by the rules in respect to the process. It's about the process. And yet he continues to be targeted by unfounded personal attacks, political games, and inappropriate information leaks. Inappropriate information leaks. The guy, 5 references to gross negligence. This is unbelievable. I'm going to tweet this out right now. Unbelievable. Every second, you and I are being vindicated. Every single second. And people are like, why can you focus so much on this, HA? The reason is because, I don't know, it's probably one of the biggest scandals. And it could be the biggest scandal. Well, there are some others I can name that could be. This is one of the biggest scandals in U.S. history. One of the biggest scandals in U.S. history. Wow. This is another breaking news. Mark Meadows just outed 2 of the unidentified anti-Trump pro-Hillary FBI investigators referred for punishment by IG. And both work for the general counsel of FBI, not counterintelligence, as the FBI claimed, as an excuse to withhold their names. General counsel? What is this with these FBI lawyers? So thank you. Thank you to everybody. Thank you, Sick Boy Valdez. The super chat, thank you. It's all about the criminal dying, Granny. Yeah, it is, and we're never going to stop. We're never going to stop talking about this until Clinton gets indicted, and she eventually will. So, Sick Boy Valdez, thank you very much. Thank you to everybody in the live stream, and especially the super chat. You allow me to keep going on this. So, not only do we have Peter Strzok escorted out the building, which is not cool. Poor Peter Strzok with his 20 cell phones and like 10 billion text messages in a box, leaving the FBI building. That must suck. The FBI agent became the subject of ire among President Trump and conservatives. How about just normal people? I love the Hill, but how about just normal people? After it was discovered that he had exchanged private text messages with former FBI lawyer, Peter Strzok didn't just do that, ladies and gentlemen. He did his thing was that he deleted 5 references to gross negligence, and he did not care about how Clinton transferred top secret and special access program intelligence from SIPRNet, JWICs, and SCIFs. James Comey did not care how Clinton transferred intelligence from SIPRNet, JWICs, and SCIFs. So we have Peter Strzok escorted from the building and amid internal review. The internal review is going to say he, not only did he mess up, but the internal review is going to be, what he did was even worse than McCabe. And McCabe got a criminal referral and was fired. Strock will definitely be fired, very likely get a criminal referral. The issue with this bureaucracy, if you live, you know the phrase, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. You live by bureaucracy, your demise will be linked to bureaucracy. Rose Quartz, thank you so much for always being so sweet. It's happening. Thank you, Rose Quartz. Thank you, Rose. Rose is a beautiful name, by the way. It's just unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. So you have Peter Strzok, who is basically like, honey, my love, because his girlfriend, his mistress, his lover. And by the way, I don't judge the guy. I mean, if you want to ruin your life with, a whole bunch of guys or girls on the side, that's your business. I don't judge him for what he did, like, with his lover, mistress, whatever. I don't judge her either. It's not something you should do because it ruins a whole bunch of people's lives and all that stuff, whatever. But you're having a romantic relationship, okay? You're doing the horizontal mambo. You're doing the wild thing. You're knocking the boots. You're whatever you want to call it, as employees of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. The FBI should not have employees stooping each other. They should not have that. Why? Because then you get into situations like, honey, Trump is not going to win, right? No, we'll stop him. We'll stop him. I'm I'm the lumberjack. Did you remember Step Brothers? We'll stop him. Adam, thank you so much. Thank you, Adam. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Rose. But the interesting thing here is that you can't have people stooping. You can't have people hooking up. You can't have romantic relationships. And this is not like at the office at like some kind of, I don't know, any business, a bank or whatever. This is at the FBI. You can't have people at the FBI who are hooking up. Because if you do that, then you have investigations that are completely just this kind of, you're merging your love interest, your romantic relationship with the future of the country. So let's just say Peter Strzok was somewhat objective. He's like, well, I don't really like Trump, but I don't hate him. Because, of course, he hated Trump with a passion. But if his lover hated Trump, that's obviously going to influence him. So that's another big thing. So it's not just the fact that he wrote all these text messages. It's the fact that this bias is deep-seated. And it's intertwined with what makes us human. Love makes us human. So you have Peter Strzok and Lisa Page and their love for each other, which is directly correlated to how much they hate Trump and what they can do to hurt Trump and help Hillary. With Hillary Clinton, there was evidence of crimes. I have a buddy who said to me the other day, one of my buddies texted me, he's like, well, they're both committed crimes. I'm just waiting for you to say that Trump committed crimes. And then I texted back. I said, well, what crimes did he commit? And I didn't get a text back. What crimes did Trump commit? I want to know. He won. That's his crime. Hillary Clinton actually committed crimes. The IG, which was about the Clinton email investigation, which they didn't even investigate her. They didn't investigate her. It was a complete farce of an investigation. That was about the transfer. The Special Access Program intelligence didn't grow wings. It was the transfer of top, and I explained that in my books, but her top secret emails, but her deleted emails. If you want to read those two books, they're below. They're on Amazon, $3.99. Okay, if you see like bootleg copies or whatever, my book is kind of hilarious. If you want to get a virus or whatever, then yeah, download those links. But my books below are, definitely go to Amazon. Very simple, and it's a Kindle version, and you go ahead and $3.99. But her top secret emails, but her deleted emails. I know that people in Congress have already read but her top secret emails, and I know that one former Trump advisor has already read but her top secret emails. So the interesting thing here is that they didn't subpoena Huma Abedin. They didn't subpoena. They actually subpoenaed Brian Pagliano. He ripped it up in front of Chaffetz. Brian Pagliano, the guy who set up Clinton's server, was subpoenaed by Congress. And Chaffetz was like, "You see this?" No, Pagliano was like, "You see this subpoena? You see this? I ripped this subpoena right in front of you. Look what I'm doing, ripping it. What are you going to do now? You're not going to do anything because I set up Hillary's server. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Like, you're not going to do anything. You're not going to do anything." So that's the hilarious thing about that is that all of this was a setup. With Mueller, so Peter Strzok, obviously his text messages started the Mueller probe, helped start the Mueller probe, along with the Steele dossier. And Comey is in deep doo-doo because Giuliani wants Comey's behind. And Giuliani is whispering in Trump's ear. Giuliani wants to end the Mueller probe. So Giuliani wants to end the Mueller probe by investigating Mueller. And he's whispering in Trump's ear because at this point right now, the person Trump trusts the most, President Trump trusts the most, is Rudy Giuliani. He's not going to go. Rudy Giuliani is a New Yorker like Trump. They've known each other for decades and decades, and what, like 30, 40 years, probably 30 years now. No, yeah, 30 years. I think over 30 years. And Rudy Giuliani is like, hey, listen, you know what? Let's just go ahead. We'll fire Mueller. We have to just go ahead and do it. Peter Strzok, McCabe, Comey, the 13 angry Democrats, all the Steele dossier, which is nonsense. BuzzFeed is suing the DNC. We're going to go ahead, first fire Mueller, then we'll indict Clinton eventually. Get Sessions to get those testosterone shots that Lindsey Graham got. So he's whispering in Trump's ear. And let's go ahead really quickly. I have this on my phone, and then I want to go ahead and. So Jim Jordan today, there was the Trey Gowdy was actually pretty awesome. Trey Gowdy was moving away from reality for a moment there. So Gowdy scorches Comey in opening statement at IG hearing. So the opening statement was pretty awesome. Let's go ahead and just listen to that. So the Mueller probe is pretty much done. The issue with the Mueller probe was moral authority. It wasn't so much. You have to understand something. All of this is public relations now. So Democrats are scorned. They've lost. They put all their eggs in Hillary's basket. They had to blame somebody. They blamed Russia. They had no evidence for it. BuzzFeed is suing the DNC. And I mean, like Ross Story wrote a hit piece on me, like other people. BuzzFeed would never write a hit piece on me, because then I would then ask very simply, as a journalist, what are your thoughts on suing the DNC? Because you have no evidence, or at least the major claims are not supported by the DNC. So they're suing the DNC. By the way, I am all for BuzzFeed on this. Okay. Andy Solomons, thank you. What happened to Hubert? Hello, Florida. My grandmother used to live in Florida, so I would go to Miami all the time. Love Florida. All of it, north, south, all of it. Andy, thank you so much. The Mueller probe was about trying to impeach Trump based on Comey's memos that were classified. He's going to very likely get indicted. He's being investigated right now on leaking classified information, which is hilarious because he let Clinton off the hook on leaking classified information, not just classified, special access program, top secret intelligence. This will never, ever, 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 ever end. It is June 19th, 2018. It'll go to June 19th, 2019 and beyond until Clinton gets indicted. And whether it's the emails or the foundation or anything else, taxes, anything else, you have a walking criminal in both Bill and Hillary. And I'm probably, for the first time I'll ever say this, I'm probably too hard on Hillary. Bill is probably could be very, very well a bigger criminal, or just the same amount of criminal behavior as Hillary Clinton. But Hillary's just sloppy. She's like a sloppy drunk at a wedding, or like bleh. She's like, I just wipe it with a cloth. No one's gonna do anything to me. We have Peter Strzok who loves Lisa Page. What are you gonna do? You can do nothing. So this is interesting right here. Let's just go and before we get to Trey Gowdy, let's just listen to this. This is Bob Goodlad, who's the man. He's like a down low kind of like hardcore politician. He's very calm. Check this out.
In the Constitution. However, each institution has engaged in repeated stonewalling of Congress's constitutionally mandated oversight. The infamous text from Peter Strzok saying, "We will stop President Trump from taking office," which we received on the day of your report's release, is a prime example. This text was revealed to you late in your interview as well, as I understand. Do you believe this text shows political bias?
I think, as we found, it clearly shows a biased state of mind.
So he's not like, is it political biased? He biased. He was like, well, it's a biased state of mind. Biased state of mind. Everything you hide behind. You don't have to be a politician or a writer or whatever. You hide behind semantics. When you constantly hide behind semantics in an effort to deceive or circumvent communication, then it's really a form of lying. So Horowitz, even though he's agreeing, he's kind of making sure he has some leeway to not be put into a position. The problem is, though, that everyone sees you for what you are. Horowitz is doing his job as a bureaucrat. Fine. But all of these people are just lying through their teeth. The fix was in. The fix was in from day one. They didn't want, if the tables were turned and you had, let's stop Clinton, let's stop Hillary, they would obviously use common sense. MSNBC would say, oh my God, the fix was in. They indicted Clinton. Could you imagine if they indicted Clinton? And you had, and that, the evidence shows that. So if they actually spoke those words, you could still point to the evidence and say, well, she did transfer top secret intelligence. But could you imagine if the alternative, or the reverse, if the shoe were on the other foot, if they were saying, well, you need to stop Clinton. I hope Trump wins 1,000,000. Cookie Girl, thank you so much. And Liberty News Philadelphia, thank you so much. I really appreciate your constant support of this channel. Thank you. Thank you, Liberty News Philadelphia. And thank you, Cookie Girl. Thank you very much. But if the tables were turned, what do you think would have taken place? So let's just continue.
And if so, do you believe the political bias shown by this text had an effect on the initiation of the Russia investigation?
I think, as you know, Mr. Chairman, that's a matter we've got under review and are looking.
So he is reviewing whether Strock impacted the launch of the Russia probe. At this point right now, you don't even know what Horowitz is going to say. He might say, well, it didn't impact the decision by the neighbor and the gardener and the urologist of somebody who might have known somebody related to Strock. So what he said, when people say, well, the IG report said there's no bias. No. He said there was no bias, political bias for the prosecutors. But the FBI prosecutors were supposed to be given evidence from Strock and Page and Comey and McCabe, all of them compromised, all of them doing everything to withhold evidence. They didn't even bother. They didn't even bother to find out how she transferred the intelligence. All of this is political theater. Trump, Mueller, Giuliani, Strock, Horowitz, Goodlatte, Gowdy, all of them know, or they should know, and the people who have read my book in the government know already, that it's about transferring top secret intelligence. How did she do it? That's it. You end all of this with how she did it. But if you explain how, then the entire intelligence community just crumbles for a moment, but then it's rebuilt. So they're waiting. It's like this horrible, bad relationship where you're like, oh, should I break up with him or her? Should I break up with him or her? And all the while you're suffering through the relationship. And you're just afraid of, if you're in like a horrible relationship, it's like, oh, should I break up? Should I not break up? Da, da, da. All the while you're like, oh man, I need to break up. But you're afraid of, what takes place, how the other person's going to react, how you're going to react, being alone, whatever. So that's one way of explaining. They don't want to look at how she transferred top secret and special access program intelligence. So people like Rachel Maddow don't care. Chris Hayes, Rachel Maddow, Joy Reid, Howard Dean, they don't care. They don't care if her server was located in Moscow. They don't care at all. They would say, well, this is different from Trump because, it's good relations with Moscow is important now. Just like with the uranium sale, cash flow to Clinton Foundation amid Russian uranium deal. Ross Story wrote a hit piece on me. They didn't bother to read the New York Times article that I quote every day. Every day I quote that article. Every day. That's all I do is quote that article. Cash flowed to Clinton Foundation, Mid-Russian uranium deal. New York Times. Oh, well, you don't know. You can't say that she was influenced. Money flowed into the Clinton Foundation, then a favorable outcome takes place for the person that actually, oh, but the money trail was not exactly, what does it matter if you give $100 million 2 years before something, and then something favorable takes place? It's $100 million. If I give you $100 million to your foundation, saying, by the way, hook me up in 3 years. You'll hook me up in 3 years. That's exactly, and then yellow cake uranium was shipped out of the country. That's in that New York Times article, not conspiracy theory, not fake news. New York Times. The same people who invented the whole dumb concept of fake news or whatever. The New York Times. So let's just continue. It's all unraveling. We're all being vindicated. We're all being vindicated left and right because the thing is, like, they are so corrupt. Thank you. Maduro Mike, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Frank, very much. I am voting for Trump 2020. I like peace between North and South Korea. Okay, NLGHTN, thank you. Thank you very much. It's a crazy time period. Event Horizon, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, it's you can replace that with Strock. Let's continue. Thank you, everybody in the super chat.
More to be determined on that.
More to be determined.
But the time proximity, as
There's more to be determined on that. We need to find out if Peter Strzok's text message, where he says that he wants to take Trump and put him on an alien landing craft and then have that alien spaceship leave the Milky Way and never come back. We need to find out if that is an example of bias. Anne, thank you so much, Anne. Thank you. Thank you, Anne. Very, very, very much. Puerto Rico Gold News. Thank you. Thank you, Anne. That's very, very nice of you. Thank you. Thank you, Washington Q. Buckley. Feels great. It feels great because all of us are vindicated. Look, you and I, we're all probably dealing with people who are like, it's Russia. Don't you know it's Russia? There's no evidence. I don't care. We have to get Trump somehow. But she cheated Bernie. Stop bringing that up. Well, then what do you, I thought you're a Bernie supporter. Oh, yeah, they cheated Trump. Okay. It's all like, let's go ahead and deal with corruption because everything's morally relative. But you know what? I keep on interrupting myself.
Gowdy pointed out is significant.
Correct. In fact, there are these other text messages in a roughly the same time period.
So Horowitz is like, and there are actually other text messages that are even worse than Trump, than Strock. Yeah, these other text messages are pretty bad also. Do you want me to go through them? I could, but we're investigating that. We're investigating the soul and the spirit and what's inside Peter Strzok's subconscious to see if he actually went ahead and influenced the election, or influenced the Mueller probe. So it's kind of hilarious, but at the same time, it's like, obviously, it's obviously
neither the Department of Justice nor the FBI are mentioned in the Constitution. However, each institution has engaged in repeated stonewalling of Congress's constitutionally mandated oversight. The infamous text from Peter Strzok saying, "We will stop President Trump from taking office," which we received on the day of your report's release, is a prime example. This text was revealed to you late in your interview as well, as I understand. Do you believe this text shows political bias?
I think as we found, it clearly shows a biased state of mind.
I think that we've found it clearly shows a biased state of mind. I'm going to add the word state of mind because I'm just going to add words to mess you up and to gaslight you. English used to be about communication, but since I work for the US government, it's about semantic deception from a bureaucratic standpoint.
And if so, do you believe the political bias shown by this text had an effect on the initiation of the Russia investigation?
I think, as you know, Mr. Chairman, that's a matter we've got under review and are looking at right now.
More to be determined on that.
More to be determined.
I would like you to know that we're reviewing the Trump texts. We're reviewing the I hate Trump. I want him to lose. I hate Trump voters. I hate everything about Trump. Every single fiber of his being and of his body. I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. Trump texts. We're reviewing that. And we're going to come to a decision. It is under review and the proper bureaucratic protocol. I just want you to have, we're going to make sure that the processes are taken care of in a bureaucratic manner. Everything is run efficiently through a bureaucratic manner.
But the time proximity, as Mr. Gowdy pointed out.
Bob Goodlad. So Chairman Goodlad, he's awesome. He knows he's just being fed BS, but he's like, but you see, the timing was very bizarre. So I'm just trying to ask you a question. Maybe we can communicate. Just mano a mano, man to man. I'm a human being. Are you a human being too? Let's just try to communicate here. Okay, obviously you're a person. You speak English. You are You are sentient. You're a sentient being. So can you please just admit? Can you just please admit what's going on? Can you just please admit, for the love of God, what's going on? Can you just please, just for the love of humanity?
Significant.
Correct. In fact, there are these other text messages in roughly the same time period.
Okay, so, well, that's fantastic. The thing freezes on me. So I got through that part. Okay, fine. So he did. So they're actually reviewing now whether Strock went ahead and whether his hatred, his pure unadulterated hatred, his contempt, hatred, scorn for Trump possibly affected the Russia probe. It could have possibly affected the Russia probe. We don't know right now if his hatred, his pure hatred for Trump, affected the probe. We're investigating that. And let's just find Gowdy scorches Comey in opening IG. Yeah. Gowdy scorches Comey. People are like, how dare you, HA? Look what Trump's doing. He's separating the family. I'm against that. So for the record, I wish that President Trump would just unilaterally stop that. So I am against that. But understand something. There is a New York Magazine article below. New York Magazine 2016 report. New York Magazine, very reputable. Obama administration handed child migrants over to human traffickers. Do you see Mr. John Legend using profanity against President Obama on Twitter? No. Do you see all the wonderful Hollywood people in 2000? Did you ever see them in 2016 using profanity against Trump? No. But in a New York Magazine, I'm in good standing. You can be in good standing with YouTube and talk about any subject as long as you quote reputable sources. NewYorkMagazine.com. 2016 report, Obama administration handed child migrants over to human traffickers. Even worse than what Trump is doing, which is not good. I wish that what I want, and this is really quickly, when people are like, "You like Trump, man, you horrible man." Democrats know he wants a wall. Go ahead and work with Trump. They know you know he wants the wall. Go ahead and work with Trump. Go ahead and work with Trump. He wants that wall. So say you can have your wall, but I want all the dreamers. We want all the dreamers given citizenship. We don't want kids being separated from families. All these things. You have to negotiate, but Democrats don't want to negotiate. They're like, well, Trump should do that unilaterally. Instead of us making some kind of a bill or a negotiation. Anyway, let's go ahead real quick. Okay, so this is, oh, Lord. So this is Gowdy. Trey Gowdy has been taking the testosterone shots that Lindsey Graham has been taking. And let me tell you something. Those testosterone shots work. I wouldn't mind using some myself for the gym. Just joking. But here's Trey Gowdy. And skip ad. What am I doing here? You know what's like scary? So there's like a screen for the live stream. There's a live stream screen that you have as a content creator. And on the bottom, it says stop live stream. So I have to move that down so I don't hit that accidentally when I'm going on. Could you imagine? I have 1,103 people. If I'm like, and another thing, I click stop. Okay, hold on one second.
Of Jim Comey's decision to hold it.
So this is one of the best and most amazing opening statements ever. I have to give it to Gowdy. And people are like, well, when is this going to happen? When is it going to take place? When's somebody going to, hey, Strock's already being escorted out. There's already a criminal referral from McCabe. Comey's done in terms of public relations. The same Democrats who loved him will never buy another book from him again. Okay? They're all going to eventually flip and sing because it's never going to end. The political will lead to people getting indicted before Hillary and them flipping and singing. Did you think we would be talking about this on June 19th, 2018? Probably not. Most people did not think that. There were people when I was on the left like, oh, come he's talking about Hillary? What? This was like 2 years ago they were telling me that. 2 years ago. Beginning of 2017. We're now, approaching summer. Well, we were in summer 2018. Beginning of 2017, they were like, oh, why are you talking about Hillary? Why are you talking about Hillary? Well, we're never going to stop talking about this ever until eventually she gets indicted because basically the whole planet knows she's a walking criminal, even Democrats, but they're cool with it because they think Trump is really bad because of his tweets. I hate him. I hate those tweets. Ooh, Lindsey Graham also. Okay, hold on. So this is Gowdy.
As we read this report, we're reminded of Jim Comey's decision to hold the July 5th press conference and appropriate the charging decision away from the prosecutors. We see Jim Comey drafting an exoneration memo before important witnesses like the target.
He lied under oath. So Gowdy is 100% right about that. He lied under oath, by the way. So he lied under oath. James Comey lied under oath, said that he didn't exonerate Clinton before her interview. And then we find out he exonerated Clinton before her interview. In fact, from the IG report, we find out they didn't even ask how she transferred the intelligence or talk about a server. The whole point of this is about a server in her basement, multiple servers. Andrew McCarthy talked about that, but I mean, I've been talking about that for, forever. But Andrew McCarthy's amazing. He was on Fox. He was talking about that, but he's also writes brilliant articles in the National Review.
We're even interviewed. Ironically, this inspector general has been accused of softening or watering down his report, when the reality is it was Jim Comey who softened and watered down his press release, announcing no charges against Secretary Clinton. We see Jim Comey and Jim Comey alone deciding which DOJ policies to follow and which to ignore. We see Jim Comey and Jim Comey alone deciding whether there is sufficient evidence to support each and every element of an offense. We see Jim Comey and Jim Comey alone deciding whether to send a letter to Congress in the throes of a looming election.
So Gowdy is awesome here. What Gowdy is doing is basically saying, look, this IG report basically bolsters the evidence, the reality that James Comey not only circumvented Loretta Lynch, but decided everything on his own. James Comey has like this power superiority complex. He's going to decide Hillary Clinton's emails. He's going to decide the Russia probe. He's going to leak classified memos specifically, not as a whistleblower. I love Julian Assange and WikiLeaks because he publishes whistleblowers. Whistleblowers publish information about corruption. That is, they're nonpartisan when they do so. Just because you publish the DNC emails doesn't mean you're partisan against Hillary. You publish the information because it has to do with Bernie being cheated. You don't go ahead if you're James Comey and leak classified queasy memos that you created. You don't memorialize. Nobody says, boss, I'm going to memorialize this memo. Hector, you should fire him. Here's the memorialized memo that I wrote. I hate him. I hate Hector. Or, Barbara. I don't really like Barbara. So here's my memorialized memos, boss. I'll fire her. The whole thing with the Comey's memos, when they talked about memorializing Comey's thoughts, these are the thoughts of a raving, lying, deceiving, really criminal. What he did was a lot of criminal activity, especially lying under oath. So you don't go ahead and memorialize. If you're lending credibility to somebody who just writes memos and about what they think about something, that's just called gossip and hearsay. Gossip, hearsay, someone's opinion is not evidence. Evidence is top secret and special access program intelligence being transferred deliberately, intentionally, and with the sole purpose of hiding the information from the U.S. government, hiding Clinton Foundation information. Then we already know from Bill Priestap from the IG report. We already know from the IG report. This is really, really important. If the 1,213 people live watching right now on this live stream, and I have over 116,000 subscribers, but I mean, to have 1,200 people, 1,200 people on any live stream, even if you have like 200,000 subs or 300,000 subs, it's pretty good. I only have 116,000 plus subs, so it's a testament to you, and I appreciate it. But this is really, 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 really important. If you're watching right now, please go ahead and remember this. Within the Inspector General report, Bill Priestap, who is, guess who, Peter Strzok's boss, is on record as saying on the Weiner laptop, there's Clinton Foundation and Clinton email and state.gov information. All of it was merged and mingled together and stored together. The United States government was just one of many things Clinton was interested in. Mainly, it was either B or C. A was the Clinton Foundation. She utilized the private server, and then she eventually went ahead and stored a whole bunch of information on Weiner's laptop to hide. D. Velasquez, thank you so much for always supporting this channel. June is PTSD Awareness Month. If you know a physically, emotionally traumatized combat vet who'd been from a free service, who would benefit from a free service dog, please visit rescue22foundation.org. That's really amazing. Thank you, D. Velasquez. These service dogs are just absolutely beautiful, and they're amazing creatures. And that's if you know a traumatized combat vet or combat vet who would benefit greatly from a service dog, go to rescue22foundation.org. And D. Velasquez, thank you very much. I support and I respect and admire veterans 100%. I've written in the Hill, articles in the Hill, and also in the Jerusalem Post, and also in the Huffington Post, and also in the Roanoke Times, that we should bring home our soldiers from these endless counterinsurgency wars. I've written a bunch about that. But thank you, D. Velasquez. So let's just continue.
Now, his justification for this is that he did not have confidence in the objectivity of Attorney General Loretta Lynch. Whether it was her asking him to refer to this case as a matter rather than an investigation, or her meeting with Bill Clinton while Hillary Clinton was under investigation, or the matter he has alluded to but claims he cannot discuss publicly.
Okay, so this is hilarious also. This is really funny also. Comey is universally hated, because if you try to be all things to all people, you're not going to be liked by anyone. Or nobody can be all things to all people. Nobody is going to enjoy, if you start a YouTube channel, if you're a comedian, if you're an artist, musical artist, if you're just paint, if you're a painter, whatever. No one is going to, if you try to be all things and you're not yourself, you're not honest, everyone's going to hate you. Comey is despised by everyone, because he even goes after Loretta Lynch. And I actually hate to say this, because Loretta Lynch was part of everything. But the pathetic part of all of this is that Loretta Lynch is the most sympathetic figure in this whole thing. She didn't want, actually, according to Dick Morris, she did not want Bill Clinton to get on her plane. Bill Clinton single-handedly destroyed Loretta Lynch's legacy and reputation forever. Bill Clinton might have spoken about Brexit, but it would have been like, so, European Union, huh? Under his breath, hey, you owe your political career to the Democratic Party, to me, to Hillary. You better hook us up. You better make sure, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, you better make sure that if Comey recommends indictments, that you don't do anything. Or tell me what you know, or I want to know what you know, or here's a piece of paper. Let's go ahead and exchange notes while we're talking. Here, let me give you these pieces of paper. Just sign here. Who knows what Bill Clinton is up to? Bill Clinton is like the most shady. I just want to come on down to your plane and talk about Brexit. If you indict Hillary, it's going to be a big problem. I just want to talk about Brexit, grandchildren, and golf. I know. We could talk about Phil Mickelson, Tiger Woods, Nigel Farage, Brexit. We can do a whole bunch of things. We can do anything you want. There's no limit to what we can do. Too bad we're not together, alone. So, you know what? Sometimes my mic goes, so if you can't hear me, my mic goes down. But it's unbelievable, because Bill Clinton is ruthless. I just want to let you know something. I'm going to give you this piece of paper, and you and I are going to talk about golf, Brexit, and grandchildren. But on that piece of paper, everything's going to take place if you don't play ball. So here's a piece of paper. Loretta Lynch actually is a sympathetic figure in all of this, and which all gets to the point. You don't want to help the Clintons. You don't. What benefit? What benefit do you get? You don't get any benefit. You don't get any benefit. You no benefit, nothing. BuzzFeed, they did a solid. BuzzFeed helped out the DNC big time. DNC is like, F off. We're not going to help you. You think we're going to help you? We're not going to help you. Like, wait a second. We published the Steele dossier. This was the basis for everything, the PP dossier. We're now being sued for defamation. We're not being sued for defamation by these, trillionaire Russians. Can you help us? Nah, DNC's like, nah, we're not going to help you. Stupid. He said, you helped us. We're not going to help you. So the DNC and BuzzFeed suffered. Okay, Peter Strzok and Lisa Page. Well, we know about that. Okay. Oh, honey, we're not going to win, right? Yeah. We'll stop him, honey. I'm the lumberjack. So they're, do you think I cared? I didn't even know who Peter Strzok was. Nobody did up until he helped Clinton. And then everybody knew who he was. And everybody knew that he was, whatever, mistress, all that stuff. Glenn Simpson, shady business, shady Fusion GPS. The law firm Perkins Coie, we had no idea who that law firm. It's been in the news for a long time, but Daniel, thank you so much. Daniel Richardson. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. I don't know what you mean by sexual relations. Thank you, Daniel Richardson. Do you mean involving sex? Because my definition of sex is completely different from everyone else's. I'm talking about my wang dang entering a love triangle, so to speak, the Bermuda love triangle. And if my wang dang doesn't, it's certainly not sexual relations. And I'm not talking about cigars or anything else. Blue dresses, whatever. Okay, I can go on forever with my whole spiel about what it doesn't help. You're not helped. Okay, McCabe. He's like, oh, Andrew McCabe's like, everything's great. Terry McAuliffe, really? Any deal with the devil? I want to get in terms of theology. Really, I'm agnostic. I hope God exists. I say God bless you. I hope God exists, but everything we see. But I'm agnostic. I don't know. But in terms of theology, I do enjoy the theology of the whole, deal with the devil. Or if you strike a deal with the devil, you're not going to ever win. You're not going to ever win. Okay. And so that's, if you go ahead and try to work with the Clintons, you're not going to ever win. You're not going to ever win. So Andrew McCabe was like, oh yeah, my wife needs LexDad 1193. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you. So what Andrew McCabe fired before his pension. So you have what? BuzzFeed, you have Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, you have Andrew McCabe, okay? Fired before his pension, criminal referral, he'll get indicted. Okay, then you have, so BuzzFeed, Peter Strzok, Andrew McCabe, then you have James Comey. His for the rest of his life, his name, James Comey, is synonymous with just slithering, slimy, giant reptile. Okay, Loretta Lynch, you might disagree with her in terms of politics, but in terms of her, she might have had a great career, legacy before Bill Clinton. I'm going to ruin your legacy. Trust me on that. It's going to help you in the end. When you ruin legacy is not that bad, actually. It's really going to help you. It'll give you a credibility in terms of politics. So Loretta Lynch, her career, legacy, it's synonymous with that plane meeting. You don't meet, if you're the Attorney General, you don't meet with Bill Clinton 2 days before his wife is having brunch with Peter Strzok. And why was Peter Strzok interviewing Hillary Clinton? And then he went after General Michael Flynn, who should be not only pardoned, but completely cleared of any charges. And he should be making millions of dollars. General Michael Flynn should be making millions and millions of dollars for his next book, which I'm going to buy, and I urge everyone to buy. When this is all said and done, he'll be vindicated. Rose Quartz, you're wonderful. Thank you so much. Yes, this is the best comment section. Thank you. Thank you, Rose. Well, if you can't make HA After Dark And one of my friends, Sean, did this hilarious thing where it's me introducing HA After Dark with this like porn music in the back, like bow, 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 bow. And it's like, yeah, welcome to HA After Dark. Because I can't sleep. I'm like this all night, like this really highly strung Jewish guy. Like I'm like a Jewish chipmunk or raccoon or squirrel. I'm like, it's got my AK. No, I'm joking. I have a safe, everything. But by the way, HA Second Amendment, check it out. It's my new firearms channel devoted to the Second Amendment. Check it out. And if just type in HA Second Amendment, it's of me, rapid fire, the terms of mag dump, 40 rounds of my California compliant AK-47 at a rifle range outside Los Angeles. Oak Tree, right? It's fantastic. The people there are amazing. And it was my Father's Day. And also, I'm going to upload either today or tomorrow, one of the instructors there. I show everyone how to disassemble the AK-47. Or no, he shows, and I go ahead and film it myself. And is Darren at Oak Tree, who's awesome. But anyway, so let's go ahead and, you know what? Let's just continue.
Clearly, Jim Comey had lost confidence in the DOJ to handle the case in a way worthy of public trust. But that leads us to the one thing we did not see Jim Comey do, which was take any steps to spur the appointment of special counsel in the Hillary Clinton investigation.
Thank you, Chaz1422. Connect with your commenters by reading the comment of the day. We love your work. Thank you so much. I will do that. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so let's continue.
When he lost confidence in the Trump Justice Department, he memorialized private conversations, he leaked them, and he admitted he did so to spur the appointment of special counsel because he didn't trust the career prosecutors at the Department of Justice. When he lost confidence in the Obama Justice Department, he didn't make special memos.
So you have Comey, who is acting in the most disgusting manner. You have Comey, who is writing memos specifically to hurt Trump, but not writing memos when he says, well, I didn't trust Loretta Lynch. I didn't trust all of these people. And where are the memos? Where did Comey memorialize his dislike for Obama's Justice Department? And by the way, President Obama this is hilarious, on CNN is like, you know what? There could never be anyone who rigs an election. The Russians could never do it. Nobody could ever do it. Just go ahead. Stop complaining, Trump. This is when he thought that Clinton would win. Let's continue. So why did James Comey write memos? Why did he write memos to hurt Trump, but not to expose Clinton? It makes no sense at all.
He didn't share them with his law professor friends. He didn't leak the information. He didn't lift a finger to get special prosecutor. Instead, he appointed himself FBI director, attorney general, special counsel, lead investigator, and the general arbiter of what is good and right in the world, according to him. And one of the last times I spoke with Director Comey was in a committee.
And that's the main thing, according to him. You know how slippery and slimy. Comey is. If you're Peter Strzok right now, or if you're Andrew McCabe, don't wait. Don't wait. Just go ahead and strike a deal with Sessions, because Peter Strzok's been fired. So he's been kicked out of the office. Let's see if he's officially fired. I do have the best comment section. Definitely the best comment section, and live chat. And super chat people. Thank you so much. You help these live streams take place. Big time. Okay, Peter Strzok. Yeah, FBI agent escorted from FBI agent Strock escorted from building. He's going to get fired, and he'll probably not get his pension and all of those things. Peter Strzok is you have to understand what this guy is going through right now. And in terms of a human perspective, now I don't ordinarily do this, but let's talk about a human perspective really quickly. Really quickly. Okay? Obviously, the guy is a criminal. You don't go ahead and you don't decide what's good for the American people. You sign you will promise and swear to abide by the Constitution. And there's nowhere in the Constitution that says that you can just decide which candidate you like. So you're going against the United States Constitution. You're breaking laws. You're breaking protocol. But let's just move that aside. Peter Strzok was escorted today from the FBI. Imagine the psychological and emotional toll for that man. I don't usually just, are they human? They're all human. Hillary is human. Strock is human. But see, the thing is, it's kind of like they view us as in a compartment. Like, for example, if, I hate to say it, but like, we're like a pet of theirs. Like you look at your pet, you love your pet, but you're going to take care of your pet. You're not going to really ask your pet for stock advice. So Strock and Hillary and all, they don't care about the American people. They view us as like just beneath them, intellectually, morally, all of these things. That's what Peter Strzok was saying. He's like, I can go ahead and Trump voters are stupid, all these things, horrible people. But just from a human perspective, let's just for a second leave aside all the criminal activity that Peter Strzok was engaged in. Deleting 5 references to gross negligence when he knew that she transferred information from Cybernet, JWIX, and Skiffs, all these things. What do you think Peter Strzok is feeling right now? If Peter Strzok was part of Dr. Phil, hold on one second. Let's do a Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil, the guy who hates Dr. Phil. Okay, hold on. Dr. Phil. Are you kidding me? Okay, hold on.
Let's suppose that you're writing a really
I want to do Dr. Phil's impression. Hold on.
You're leaning heavily on what the child has said. And we saw a little bit of this video earlier, but now I want to really examine this. Here,
I want to really examine this. Dr. Phil, imagine Peter Strzok and what he's going through right now in terms of the emotional, the psychological, debilitating feelings regarding being fired or terminated or escorted out of the justice of the FBI because his honey bunny, his pumpkin, his poopsie pants, his lover, mistress, more than just a compadre. Comey's taking the short bus to the big house. Imagine all the things. You have an FBI agent who was number 2 in the counterintelligence. What would Dr. Phil say when this man's life is coming crashing down in terms of his reputation? Thank you. Rooster CO Burn D, thank you. You and damaging the most. Oh, thank you. I would, my God, I'd be honored to have a live stream with Dan Bongino. He's amazing. And thank you so much for, including me with Mr. Bongino. And I really appreciate that. ROO, Rooster COG Burn D. Thank you. Thank you very much. But I'll stop with the whole Dr. Phil. But if Dr. Phil was talking to Peter Strzok what do you think that Dr. Phil would ask him? How does it feel? Your whole life, you were an FBI agent. You were the number 2 in the counterintelligence. You did everything possible to be a straight-laced law enforcement official of the highest order. And now you take in your cubicle, you have a little box full of trinkets and tchotchkes and all of these things, and you're now unceremoniously, kicked out on your behind. Well, how does it feel to help Hillary? How does it feel? Did you help Hillary? Did Trump win? Did you impeach him? No. But all for naught. I'm going to have to charge you about $57,565, Mr. Strock, for this amazing, amazing psychoanalysis. I'm Dr. Phil. So again, some interesting comments here. All right. So Gowdy.
Here, we had a pointed exchange on what I thought was the FBI making decisions based in part on politics. And he, in his typically sanctimonious way, told me that he disagreed. He said the men and women of the FBI do not, quote, give a hoot about politics. Unfortunately, and I use that word intentionally, unfortunately, he was dead wrong. There were agents and attorneys at the FBI who gave a lot more than a hoot about politics. There's Andy McCabe, the former deputy director and acting director of the FBI, an agency which investigates and charges others for making false statements, himself accused of making false statements and showing a lack of candor.
So Andrew McCabe has a criminal referral, by the way. By the way, there's a criminal referral for Andrew McCabe.
I think I recall, perhaps someone can correct me, but I think I recall some of my Democrat colleagues falling over themselves to offer a job to Andy McCabe when he was let go for making false statements and for a lack of candor. But those same colleagues apparently weren't hiring. They didn't have any openings when others in a related investigation called Russia were charged with the same offense.
So Gowdy is this monologue or diatribe or, this opening statement, this could actually be part of U.S. history, this summary of everything. This is actually a really important, beautiful, poignant moment in this investigation or not, whatever, this debacle, this charade, this theater. So Gowdy's making up for the bizarre behavior of the past month or so, where he's like, Mueller, okay, I like him. But he's finding out it's probably too much for Gowdy to even, because his whole thing is, look, I'm not going to be in Congress forever. I want to go ahead and get a job at Fox or some other, maybe even MSNBC or CNN, and I want to be seen as independent. But there's no way. There's no way that Gowdy can't start hating on this the way normal people should.
There were FBI agents and attorneys who decided to prejudge the outcome of the Hillary Clinton case before the investigation ended. I want you to let that sink in for a second. They prejudged the outcome of the Hillary Clinton investigation before the investigation ended, and these exact same FBI agents and attorneys prejudged the outcome of the Russia investigation before it even began.
And the interesting thing that you have to remember about all of this is that the Russia investigation had no evidence. The Russia investigation had no evidence. The Steele dossier was the only evidence, and then some drunken conversation between Dumbo Downer, and Papadopoulos, this low-level Trump employee. And so, by the way, we have 1,200 people watching this live stream. If you can do me a favor, a very big favor, if you're on Twitter, if you're on Facebook, if you're on Instagram, if you're on Steemit, if you're on Minds, if you're on Gab, go ahead, just share this link and tell your friends to just hop on this live stream, because we're going to be going for a little while more. as long as I can, actually. But we're going to be going for a little some more time. So please go ahead and let people know. But it's just unbelievable.
In prejudging the outcome of an investigation before it ends and prejudging the outcome of an investigation before it begins is not evidence of outcome determinative bias. For the life of me, I don't know what would be.
So he is basically ripping all of them a new one. And here's the thing. A lot of people, and I tried to explain this when I wasn't doing live streams, because I usually never really did live streams. I just started doing live streams, but it's like so awesome and fun. I'm going to continue doing them. But I tried to explain that the IG report was always going to be a bureaucratic document. So let's go ahead. Jim Jordan grills IG Horowitz on Peter Strzok. Okay, so where is that? So Jim Jordan grills IG Horowitz, Peter Strzok.
Your workspace matters.
All right, hold on one second. So Jim Jordan is another really, really good Sessions impersonation. Okay, let's get to a Sessions. Before we get to, let's do a Sessions, shall we? All right, let's do a Sessions. We'll introduce Jim Jordan. Let's just skip this ad. Hello, Mr. President. It's me again. I don't want to bother you, but have you seen Jim Jordan? I know you're busy, but have you seen him? I think he is a hot to trot commodity. No, I'm not trying to say I'm attracted to him. I'm saying he's hot, meaning he's a fiery fellow. I don't think he's hot physically. No. Well, I don't go that way, but if you do, it's fine. It's not a problem. I'm not saying you go that way. I'm saying if somebody does, doesn't really matter. I assume he's attractive, yes. I don't really know. Jim Jordan. No, not your cable man. No, Jim Jordan. Congressman, yes. Oh, he's been taking those pills, those testosterone pills from Lindsey Graham. And let me tell you something. I don't know who's hotter, Matt Gaetz or Jim Jordan or Ron DeSantis. I mean, this is just, they're all like a Republican steam bath of love. Did I say that out loud? No, I don't even mean that. I said love. I meant love in terms of justice. I wasn't talking about a steam bath with DeSantis and Zeldin of all people. No, I meant steamy, like, you know what I mean. Stop trying to twist my words. Okay, let's go ahead and listen to Jim Jordan. All right, thank you so much. Bye. So Jim Jordan is a hot, angry Republican. Talarice Pamala, thank you so much. Thank you. I greatly appreciate that and the kind words. Thank you. All right, let's go ahead. Jim Jordan. Let's talk about Jim Jordan.
Peter Strzok like the president?
I can only speak to what his text messages say.
There's like, Peter Strzok's like, I hate Trump. I hate him with every fiber of my being. Thank you. 5541 James, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. So Jim Jordan's like, they have to ask Horowitz like these really simple questions because then it's hilarious from a bureaucratic perspective. He's like, I just did. So was there bias? Bias? Really? What are we talking about? So they're like, does he like the Jack? Thank you. That's true. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, Jack. If anyone goes to a grand jury, it's game over for Clinton. So it's just a matter of time. That's why I say she'll get indicted. And by the way, when she does get indicted, don't think they won't try to trot her out as the next president. Because they'll be like, oh, look, Trump is so, corrupt. We might as well just have Hillary. He's fine. And they will definitely go and force people to vote for her again. And she'll spend a boatload of money, lose again. And that could be like the monumental, epic collapse, just fireworks and everything of the Democratic Party. Like, it's not done. They will not, they're not done yet. But
The president.
I can only speak to what his text messages say, and they're obviously not positive comments about the president.
February, March of 2016, Peter Strzok said, Trump's abysmal. Trump's an idiot. He's a bleeping idiot. Hillary should win 100 million to 0. Sounds to me like he hates the president.
His text messages would certainly leave that as the implication.
the implication, meaning one would view Strock as hating the president. We can't say if he does. We don't want to make that direct correlation. Okay? But the implication would be that Strock hates the president. Well, thank you, Michael Horowitz. Thank you. If a person came and threw feces at you, would that mean that that person liked you? Well, let me explain. As the person was throwing feces from their hand at me, and the feces was hitting me, the implication would be that person had a problem with me. It would be the implication, but I can't explain exactly what's going on in the person's mind. He might really love me. Jack. Thank you, Jack, very much. Thank you. Greatly appreciated. Thank you, Jack. Thank you. So it's like, it's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. So let's go ahead and.
The report says Strzok ran the Clinton investigation on a daily basis. Is that accurate?
That's correct.
And Peter Strzok, in your report, he was the lead investigator on the Russian investigation. Is that true?
That's my understanding for the time period he was on.
So the guy, he ran the Clinton investigation, he runs the Russian investigation, and he hates the president. But your report says while his bias cast a cloud, it didn't impact final decisions. Is that accurate?
It didn't impact the prosecutor's final decision.
This is the most important part of the IG report. Ebenezer, thank you. Ebenezer, thank you. Yeah, I agree. Trump should pardon Louis Greco, Henry Tamalio, Peter Limon, Joseph Salvati, all framed and convicted by Mueller's FBI in Boston, later exonerated. I agree. Ebenezer Adams, thank you. Thank you. We have 1,236 people, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this to 2,000. Let's get this rocking to 2,000. Tell your friends, tweet this out, share this on Facebook. But it's just unbelievable. Right. Let's hear this again.
The report says while his bias cast a cloud, it didn't impact final decisions. Is that accurate?
It didn't impact the prosecutor's final decision.
It didn't impact the prosecutor's final decision. But the prosecutors within the FBI, or the prosecutors within the DOJ, or the prosecutors they worked with, were impacted by the bias. If I tell you that, oh, by the way, that guy over there with the smoke, with the revolver and the smoke coming out of the revolver, and God forbid the dead body, well, I'm gonna remove the body, remove the revolver, and I'm gonna just not give any of that evidence to prosecutors. So if prosecutors say, oh, there's nothing there, you could then hide and say, oh, there's no bias in terms of there's no bias in terms of the prosecutor's decision. Yeah, because you hid every piece of evidence that's relevant. They did not go ahead and find out how she transferred the top secret and special access program intelligence. That is the main thing. That is the main thing here. That's the main thing. Let's continue.
Right. Let's look at a few other things Peter Strzok had to say. On May 4th, 2016, the day after President Trump secures the Republican nomination, Mr. Strock says, now the pressure really starts to finish the Clinton investigation. Not sure why the pressure would be more or less the day after. It seems to me you want to just do the investigation. On July 31st, as I mentioned earlier, the FBI opens the Russian investigation. 1 week later, Peter Strzok says, I can protect my country on many levels. 2 days after that, he says, we will stop Trump. 1 week after that, he says, no way he gets elected. It's like an insurance policy.
So what is this about I can protect our country on many levels? You didn't, if you're Peter Strzok, you didn't protect the country from the intelligence agencies of nations who are adversaries. They all hacked into Clinton's server. It's almost certain that China, Russia, and North Korea hacked into Clinton's server, according to Defense Secretary Robert Gates. That's in the Hill. She used an unencrypted server for 5 months that eventually, or possibly the first 3 months, stored special access top secret intelligence. He wasn't protecting the country from anything. He's equating a Trump victory with something so negative and detrimental and horrible that he has to protect the country from it. That's the issue here. That's the issue. So it's just unbelievable. Let's continue.
So think about this, Mr. Horowitz. Peter Strzok the FBI opens the Russia investigation on July 31st, 2016. Peter Strzok is the lead investigator. Within the next 15 days, he says, I can protect my country on many levels. No way he gets elected. We will stop him. We have an insurance policy. Now, that seems like, at least I think a lot of regular folks would interpret that as more than just casting a cloud on what the FBI ultimately did. I mean, it's one thing to say Trump's an idiot. It's another thing to say we got an insurance policy. It's one thing to say Trump's awful. It's another thing to say we're going to stop him.
Elizabeth, thank you.
Especially when those statements are made within 15 days, just days after you've launched an investigation into that individual.
Thank you, Elizabeth Fulkerson. Thank you.
And I think the important thing here is the time period we're talking about.
No, he's not. See, then he goes back to bureaucracy. So Jim Jordan makes the case, a rock solid case, where you have a person who hates Trump, part of two investigations pertaining to Trump. The Clinton email investigation pertains to Trump because it's his opponent who actually is a criminal with evidence of crimes. And, oh, by the way, just a coincidence, he happens to hate Trump and also try to prioritize the Russia investigation with no evidence on it. That has no evidence. So now he's talking about, well, you know, it's the time frame. And here's his ridiculous answer.
Because those messages in the July-August period, which we found extremely concerning and antithetical to core values of the FBI, concerned, as we noted, the Russia investigation, and as you noted. And that's why we had so much concern about what occurred in late September and October.
So the insurance policy text, this is amazing. Horowitz confirms that the insurance policy text was about the insurance policy called Trump Russia. We can't take the risk of Trump becoming president. So Trump is going to eventually fire Mueller or find some way to end this Mueller probe. You can go ahead and find some way to end the Mueller probe by interviewing Mueller. So Mueller is good. Giuliani wants to actually interview Mueller. They'll never interview with Mueller now. It's ridiculous. For what? Clinton wasn't even interviewed, and her interview was a joke. So essentially, she wasn't interviewed. But let's continue here.
Exactly. Mr. Horowitz, was Peter Strzok put on special counsel Mueller's team?
He was.
So again, the guy who hates the president, the guy who ran the Clinton investigation, the guy who ran the Russian investigation, then gets assigned to the special counsel team. Do you know what date, Mr. Horowitz, the special counsel was named?
I believe it was around May 17th.
May 17th, 2017. May 17th, 2017. Mr. Horowitz, do you remember what Peter Strzok said on May 18th, 2017?
I do. It's in our report on page 405.
I unleashed it on the mid-year exam, this one.
Yes.
Now I need to fix it and finish it. There's unfinished business, and this could be an investigation leading to impeachment. That's what he said the day after.
So the day after, he basically covers up for Clinton and finishes up the cover up for Clinton or whatever. Leaves mid-year, goes to Crossfire Hurricane, the two stupid names for the different probes. Mid-year being the Clinton email investigation that, oh, by the way, yeah, it's just a mid-year exam. You know, it's something you really don't, it's not sexy like the Crossfire Hurricane. But that's the, yeah, but my books should play on any device. Kindle you can read a Kindle, I think, on pretty much any device. So the books are below. If you want just Butthurt top secret emails, Butthurt deleted emails, there's like 120 5-star reviews, 110, something like that. Just crazy on for Butthurt top secret emails. In fact, if you type in Butthurt emails on Amazon, you get my book like right away. But it's Butthurt top secret emails. Go check that out. Should be on any platform. Yeah. Strock, the first day he's on Mueller's probe, let's impeach Trump. How objective is that? If the tables were turned and if this was Hillary Clinton, if it was Stop Clinton, insurance policy against Clinton, we hate Clinton supporters, Hillary bots are evil, we can go ahead and impeach Clinton with this. Let's focus more on the Clinton investigation than the Trump investigation, all of these things. If there was more evidence for the Trump investigation than the Clinton investigation, all of these things. You had 5 other FBI agents who hated Clinton, decision makers, that they didn't impanel a grand jury for the Trump investigation, but they did for the Clinton. They would claim nonstop, overt bias. She's blaming everybody in the book. This is the most sad, pathetic attempt. I mean, even if you don't like Trump, you have to admit that this is so sad and pathetic. I have the best comment section. I have the best. You guys are awesome. But let's just continue.
Correct.
Again, don't you think that sounds and looks a little bit like to regular Americans, a little bit more than just casting a cloud on the overall investigations?
Again, I go back to what the report concerned, which was the Clinton email investigation, which was concluded about a year earlier with Director Comey's announcement. But it's precisely why we were concerned about what occurred in late September and October, when Mr. Strzok had the choice between working on the Russia investigation.
Right.
But who cares what you were concerned with? This is like a lesson in semantics. They hide behind semantics. They've been hiding behind semantics since Clinton. What is? I don't even know what that means. I'm a smart guy, but I just don't know. If you hide behind semantics, semantics are also going to hurt you. You hide behind semantics because of bureaucracy. But you don't realize that words and English and speaking and it's all about communication. You're communicating something. You can hide behind different words, and you can, dissect the meanings of different words and use semantics as a roadblock. But at the end of the day, Strock hated Trump, and there was no evidence for Trump Russia, yet he chose to focus on that and ignore the mountain of evidence regarding Clinton emails. And he didn't even find out how she transferred top secret and special access program intelligence. So by the way, Peter, I know this is your voicemail. This is Bubba Bill. I just want to let you know that I hope that you got the tickets to the Nationals game for you and Lisa Page. I bet you didn't know. I knew. I'm totally cool with that. I'm still, dicking bimbos according to Secretary Powell. But I just want you to know that I'm going to go ahead and hook you up with some nice dinners for you and Lisa Page. I bet you didn't know that I knew, but I knew. Thank you. Oak R8, DR12. Thank you so very, very much. Greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. Thank you. Thank you. I just want you to know that this is a voicemail message for Peter Strzok. And you probably didn't know that I knew, but I know everything. I know everybody. If anybody's stooping, believe you me, I know. I know who's having sex with who or whom. Which one is it? Who's doing whom? Who's doing who? No, who's doing whom? You know that because it's doing that person whom. Okay. Doing her or him. That would make it a whom. All right. Well, anyway, thank you so much. And I'm going to go now on this voicemail, Peter Strzok, and just want to let you know that I know Bubba knows everything. Clinton out. So, and that's the thing. Like, thank you again, Oak R8, DR12. Thank you. I don't think America is headed down the drain. I don't think America's headed down the drain. I don't think peace with North Korea is a bad thing. I think it's a very good thing. I think that, the people make such a big deal about tariffs, but free trade, when you talk about capitalism and free trade, you want to make sure that, Canada doesn't impose 300% tariffs on their on dairy. So dairy farmers here, when they go and try to sell their products, is a 300% tariff. Is that free trade? No, it's not. And then in Canada, they're like, you're not going to ruin our industry. Well, that's exactly the problem with free trade. That's what people have to deal with. You can't just pick and choose which industries you like. And if you do that, then we're going to, that's with the tariffs. And then you have intellectual property, all these things. But anyway, let's continue.
Or on the Weiner laptop Clinton investigation in October, when Mr. Strzok had the choice between working on the Russia investigation or on the Weiner laptop Clinton investigation.
He was prioritizing one over the other.
Chose Russia.
Yeah. Let me just finish with this. And this is probably what bothers me more than all what we just went through. More than that, probably what bothers me the most is Peter Strzok's attitude. I think it's what bothers Americans the most about this whole ordeal.
Yeah.
I just want to go to one more text message one more thing Mr. Strzok said. This is back in that August time period again.
There's a great there's a great segment from Steven Crowder has a great segment on where he's doing a parody of TYT. And it's the whole I'm better than you thing from Anna Kasparian. So Steven Crowder. Kasparian. If you subscribe to Steven Crowder, he has 2 million this is Sargon, but Steven Crowder is awesome, and so he has he's millions or over 2 million. So, but he has one where he's like doing Anna Kasparian. Like, I'm better than you. I'm better than you. And that's the thing. You cannot go ahead. You're not better. No one's better than anyone. No one's better than anyone. You want to talk about racism? There's a lot of racism in the Democratic Party. And that's the thing. When you pick and choose the racism that you're outraged over, you're not better than anyone. When Peter Strzok said, "Oh, he's better," that's where he also crossed the line too, and that not just shows bias. That's like That's like a sociopathic type of thing. Like, I'm better than I'm the lowly peons called the American people. I'm going to help them. They have to abide by what I think is important. You guys are awesome. I do have the best comment section on live stream or, when I upload. It's unbelievable.
Holly, what bothers me the most is Peter Strzok's attitude. I think it's what bothers Americans the most about this whole ordeal. I just want to go to one more text message one more thing Mr. Strock said. This is back in that August time period again. August 26, 2016, Peter Strzok says, just went to a Southern Virginia Walmart. I can smell the Trump supporters. This is what ticks Americans off more than anything else. I'm convinced about all this in Clinton investigation, all this Russian investigation, is this idea that
I love you guys too.
Two sets of rules or two standards. One set of rules for us regular folk who shop at Walmart, but a different set if your name is Clinton, Comey, Lynch, McCabe, or if your name is Peter Strzok. And the arrogance and the condescension and the elitist attitude, that is what ticks people off. And as they look at all this and see what Strzok said throughout these investigations, that's why their confidence is so shaken. And frankly, that's why they're so mad.
Because like Peter Strzok, when he's going to go ahead and testify, and Peter Strzok is a straight-laced. Peter Strzok is a straight-laced FBI agent, straight as an arrow, so straight. He's got two women on the side, straight. Got the wife, got the mistress. He's straight. But he's going to testify before Congress as an FBI agent, a straight FBI agent. He's going to say, look, I was number 2 at counterintelligence. I had every single right to tell you, especially the people who shop at Walmart, which, by the way, I was shopping at. But those people smell. They smell like Trumpers. They have this Trumper body odor, BO, Trump smell. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to explain to you, Congressman, that I did everything possible to prevent Trump. Look what's taking place. Peace between North and South Korea. Are you kidding me? Do you want that peace? I don't think so. So this is Peter Strzok. This is Peter Strzok. I'm going to go ahead and explain that I focused on the Russia probe. Yeah, because you know what? I wanted to save this country and I want to save you. You don't have the right to choose. You want to know why? Because I'm Peter Strzok and I'm a straight-laced FBI agent. And I know better than you. I'm your parent. I'm your daddy. Who's your daddy, Strocky? Who's your daddy? Strocky is your daddy. That's what you ask Paige. Who's your daddy? Okay? I'm the daddy of America. I'm the American daddy. Okay? So, you just understand something right now. When I go ahead and testify before Congress, I did it all for you. I did it because I loved you. And don't ever think that because I was kicked out of the FBI that I did anything wrong. So that's what he's going to say. He's going to say, I did it for you. I wanted to save you from Russia. And Rachel Maddow will love it. Rachel Maddow will say, can you believe that, the Russia investigation there was so much evidence that Strzok went ahead and he was such a good guy that he prioritized the Russia investigation because he was good. He didn't hate Trump. He hated what Trump stood for. It's not biased at all. That's what they're going to say. And they don't care. They don't care. And the biggest hypocrites on the planet. I can go on forever about why they're hypocrites, but it's just unbelievable. You have Peter Strzok, who's straight-laced, and honestly, people who use profanity, who aren't straight-laced, who are just themselves, who wear their emotions on their sleeves, They say that Trump lies a lot. Okay, he might, crowd size. He might lie about the crowd size or whatever. But in terms of the biggest national security lies, I used a server for convenience. I wiped it with a cloth. I did yoga. This is what I do on my. You want to know what I do on HA After Dark? Okay, this is what I do. You want to know what I do on HA After Dark? Okay, I'll tell you what I do. I'll tell you what I do on After Dark. When you're home alone, you're bored in the middle of the night, and you want some good Strock loving. I go ahead and I don't know yoga, but here yoga stances. Okay, and I give people nightmares because that's the type of guy I am. Okay, that's the type of guy I am. Most sensual yoga stances, yes. 7 yoga poses that scream sex, women's health, yes. Okay, do you want to see Hillary in the puppy dog stretch? I don't think so. You want to see Hillary Clinton in the puppy dog stretch? Because that's what she was saying. She was saying this is I do in the middle of the night, no one sleeps. So they're like, HA After Dark, that's, oh no, why did I put this live stream on? She was saying, you want to talk about lies? Oh, Trump's a liar. Oh yeah? Did you see Hillary's happy baby stretch? Hillary Rodham Clinton's happy baby stretch? Try going to bed now. Try going to bed. How about the Firefly? That's tough. That is actually really tough to do. My God. How do you even do that? Okay. She said, you want to talk about Wayne Doodle and all these things. No, you want to talk about John O'Brien. This is John O'Brien. I want you to know that I'm no longer. This is a voicemail for Sally Yates. Sally, this is John O'Brien. Trump's cacatocracy will never be allowed to take over this country and do bad things. That's my job. But I want you to know something, Sally. I know I'm on voicemail. But I have a new girl. She's somebody who does the Firefly and the half dog at the wall and the reclined big toe and the downward facing dog. Do you know who she is? I am dating Hillary Rodham Clinton. Yes. I know I'm on voicemail and you can use this against me, but go ahead. I have nothing to hide. Old Billy Boy has bit off more than he can chew dicking the bimbos, according to an email leaked by Secretary Colin Powell. I'm going ahead and dating Madam Secretary. Our union will be like the Decepticons and Skeletor unite. No one will stop us. Hillary was only doing the half baby and the puppy dog stretch 30,000 times in 30,000 different emails. She deleted them. Anyone who says otherwise is a communist. Okay, I think that we're going on, 2 hours? We still have 1,083 strong on this bad boy. 1,083 strong. I'm going to try to go ahead and, yeah, you like that? You like that? I want everyone here, all 1,000 people, to imagine Hillary Clinton in the Firefly. Yeah. Well, she likes yoga. She likes yoga. Don't blame me. Don't close your eyes right now and do it. Close your eyes. That's right. It's seared into your memory. You won't be able to have a normal day or evening. Hillary with the Firefly. Anyway, give me your thoughts. Oh, you've given me your thoughts. This is a live stream. But thank you so much for watching. We still have 1,078 strong. Check out HA Second Amendment if you're into the Second Amendment and firearms. I have a channel abiding by YouTube policies, safe and responsibly I have an AK-47 compliant, California compliant AK-47, and I have my 500 Smith & Wesson revolver. Strock was kicked out of the FBI today. Mueller probe. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Mueller probe. That's as good as done. That's as good as done. And eventually Clinton indictments. Give me your thoughts below. I already said that. I want to thank everyone in the super chat. Thank you so much. And just thank you. I'm going to try to do a show in a couple of hours. And HA After Dark. Hillary Clinton in different yoga stances. Come join me. Thank you so much. Have a great day. I'll try to see you hopefully in a couple of hours. I'll definitely do one in the middle of the night. And have a fantastic day. It's happening, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just see some really quickly before we go. What is the news? What's going on? What kind of poopy is hitting the fan? Strock escorted from FBI building. Oh yeah. All right. Give me your I said that. Share this everywhere. Thank you so much for watching.